Team XLR8 here.
What's up, gang?
And featuring a product update from Matt here, so I'm going to let him take it from there. But I first want to tell you, he made me a new shaft that is 11.8 diameter, 16-inch pro taper, and it hits beautifully. Still has that non-annoying sound that the others have. This doesn't have that annoying sound that the others have. And people say, "Oh, that's petty," you know. But let me tell you, it turns a lot of people off, as it sounds like you're miscuing every time, and it's very unforgiving. But okay, I'm gonna let Matt take it from there. Let you tell you about the technology.
All right, so you know, a lot of guys, I get the phone calls on a daily basis that ask about our video from back last April when we first started talking about the XLR8 shafts and so on. And in the beginning, that was didn't know a whole lot in terms of the science and the performance and so on, because it was so new and so few people had it. Well, now we're well over 1,000 shafts sold, and kind of just wanted to kind of give everybody a little update on how things are going and why they are the way they are. So, I mean, you'll remember back to the first video we discussed, I was using a two-part aircraft-grade foam. It was designed to dampen vibration in the wings of an aircraft, and used that to help eliminate the sound and the tink that people didn't like about carbon fibers. Well, actually, not long after that video, probably a few months afterwards, as I continue to try to make things better and better, we upgraded the technology. So now each of the XLR8 shafts are, instead of using foam, we've lined them with a sound and vibration dampening material specifically designed to just eliminate any aberrant sound and vibration. And what that has become and fruited is we now have a shaft that essentially sounds, feels, and hits almost just like maple. You don't hear, it's uncanny. And the other bonus is to eliminate the use of foam is that the shafts themselves are already extremely stiff. When you add foam, that adds extra stiffness to the backbone. That's not necessary. In fact, if anything, it kind of creates an unnatural feel when you're shooting with it. By giving it just a little extra flexibility in the shaft, well, it's not a whole lot, but a little bit extra, it has vastly improved the feel of the XLR8 shafts to the point where I have numerous customers telling me that it's the best they've ever shot with. In the beginning, I didn't want to talk about low deflection because at the time I didn't have a way to quantify it. And to this day, I still don't have a scientific way to tell you just how low deflection they are. But I can tell you is that after a whole lot of comparisons and studies and everything I've done with them, I can tell you is that plus or minus less than 2%, every one of the carbon fiber shafts on the market are about the same. The XLR8 shaft, the big difference you're going to run into with it is that each one's custom built to you. So it's kind of hard to put a specific level on it. But what it does do is the shafts are 100% consistent. And that's every carbon fiber across the board. But once you've adjusted to your shaft, it's going to perform the same way every time for the life of it. It's going to continue for, if it's 100 degrees out, if it's 20 degrees out, if it's 100% humidity or there's no humidity, it doesn't matter. If you're in a place that's air conditioned versus a place that has the windows open, where your maple shafts would always change and you'd wonder why you have a specific place you go to shoot at that you can never shoot very well at. Well, that's why. It's always been the change in environment, and that's what happens because wood is so environmentally reactive. Well, with carbon fiber, it's not. But you're getting 100% consistency all the time, and that's not just me, that's everybody. But whenever the question comes about how low deflection it is, I kind of still steer to where people understand is that in the end, it's low deflection. How much? I don't know. But it's 100% consistent, so once you have adjusted to it, you're going to be thrilled. It's going to work the same way every single shot, every single stroke. And then let me see. So we've added up to the sizes. Originally we had the 12.4, and then we were actually working on the 12.8, and then of course I was looking for an 11.8 at the time. It ended up being a 12.0. So a lot of guys out there have the 12 millimeters shafts. We now have an 11.8 and an 11.5 millimeters. So the 11.8 has been extremely popular in the last 3 months since I finally got it. Extremely popular. All the shafts now have a minimum of a 14-inch pro taper and a maximum of a 16-inch, depending upon which generation and the configuration yours is built for. But it's still on par, if not better, than every other carbon fiber shafts pro taper out there. The 16 is even longer than the super slim that comes with the Synergy. But so that gives you a general rundown. We've also added brake shafts. I've got 2 of them right now that we make. The first one is your regular 12.8 millimeter pro taper style with phenolic or ivorine ferrule, and then your choice of brake tips. Very, very nice, awesome. They're great. And then of course,
ferrule material one more time.
It's either phenolic or I recommend phenolic or ivorine as the ferrules for the brake shafts.
Sorry,
Ivorine. Sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, I guess I just want to get the last couple bits of science out of the way for you guys and updates on the tech, and then I want to just kind of go through and just show you a couple quick things that we have coming and what's going on with it. Let me see. I lost my train of thought now. I hate it when it happens. That's fine. We got brakes. Oh, the other brake shaft is we have a 12.9 millimeter conical tapered brake shaft. It's dedicated brake. It's designed just for it. It's a little bit heavier. The other part that I didn't have and we didn't discuss back in the day was the shaft weight. That has become a question that I didn't really start getting in the beginning. I knew it was lighter. I just didn't know how much. I never weighed it, never even cared. To me, it felt amazing. And to everybody that got it in the beginning, it seemed amazing. But then, as things grow and you get to more and more people ask more and more questions. So the base shaft weight is actually, depending upon configuration, between 2.9 and 3.3 ounces, which is extremely light in comparison to your standard maple shafts and actually even in comparison to all the other carbon fibers out there. What are the benefits of this extra light shaft? Well, the name says it all. XLR8. The lighter it is, the more you can accelerate while shooting without overpowering it. A lot of you guys will know that acceleration is all about the change in speed coming from the stop to the end point of the stroke. It's not about how hard or how fast you hit. It's about the increase in speed over distance. That's acceleration. So that's what it does for you. And the lighter the shaft is, the better it does. But we are also capable of making any shaft weigh within plus or minus 0.1 ounces, anything you like as well. Though I'll be honest with you, for those who have them, they'll tell you they love them. And I think they're amazing at the extra lightweight. Joe's never had his weight and he loves them. So, and that's it. So real quick, I just wanted to go over a couple other things. A lot of guys have seen colored ferrules, ring work, and so on like that. We do custom ring work to a point. Depends upon the availability of the custom ring work from the whatever vendors have. I do not have the ability to create my own ring billets yet. So until that day comes, we will not be, it's never a guarantee. It's if it's possible. And if it is possible, I will do it. It is priced case by case, so it's usually starting around $25 and can go depending upon what kind of work I got to put into it. The other thing is donor rings, donor joints, and donor for things that you can't buy. Like for example, you got an old Mucci. Say you got a spare shaft. We are able to take donor shafts that have matching ring work. I picked up, this was my buddy's, he passed away a few years ago, his 9721. I'll show you guys on both these here. So anyway, what I did was, it had 2 red dot shafts with it. So the first red dot was straight, the other one was not. So I took the donor shaft from him, and I actually made a matching set of rings and insert out of that. Thing still looks gorgeous, rolls straight as an arrow, and shoots probably one of my better shooting cues, my personal favorite of the ones that I currently own. And then, of course, the other thing we talked about, brake shafts. This has been huge on Facebook, so I'll show it off real quick. So this is the white carbon fiber shaft. WHIT, not to be confused with White Carbon, the company that builds the inserts for other carbon fiber shafts joints, which is spelled WHYTE. But anyway, so laser logo and all. This is the white carbon fiber company with a black Juma ferrule and a kamikaze platinum tip. Believe it or not, I mean, it's the same exact carbon fiber shaft. The only real difference in it is just the coating that they use to make the color. It shoots really good. I can't complain. It is something that if you decide you want to go to, there are some drawbacks. By not being natural carbon fiber, you're going to end up not having the smoothness that the natural carbon fiber has. So you're going to make sure you're going to want to shoot with a glove. If you're not a glove shooter, this isn't a shaft for you. But if you are and you're cool that you want to match it up to something bright white, it's awesome.
What kind of cue is that on, Matt?
This is on a Scorpion. Believe it or not, this is another donor joint shaft. So this is called the Inox quick release joint. It's sold through Q-Sticks International. It's going to be available on some action cues, and then Scorpion has it as well. So of course I was unable to. It doesn't have an insert available for sale for it. So I took the donor shaft that I picked up for it and built the insert out of the original shaft, and I made it as a donor. And again, the thing shoots really, really nice. It looks really cool. It is a good looking setup. I kind of picked this cue butt for this when I got this prototype from my manufacturer to build it and try it out. It kind of just matched the ring to go with it. And I think that essentially kind of runs down the changes and things that have grown. I can't thank everyone enough for just how awesome of a response we've had in just the last 10 months. I mean, we're in February now. We'll be at a year coming up in 2 more months since we started this, and it's unbelievable. And I've made, I'd say thousands of friends from every customer that I have. Everybody, I made the tagline welcoming everyone to Team Accelerate, because you know what, if you buy the shaft and you're supporting the cause of the best shooting carbon fiber for the best money, you are part of the team. And we're all out there. And the best advertising I've ever had has been the word of mouth. Don't get me wrong, Joe's video, that first video was the kickstart of something very special. But at the end of the day, it's the current customers that I have that has made this such a phenomenal ride. And, just how things have grown and keep going. So, if you ever need anything, you all have my number. The website's www.defebilliards.com. My phone number is 724-710-5363. My email address is acsmedic, MEDIC 36@gmail.com. And y'all know how to get Joe on his YouTube feed. So don't hesitate to send him a crack, a joke, or a message. We do love his thumbs up. Keep the thumbs down and the trolling to a minimum, please. We're trying to,
you haven't made it on YouTube unless you have trolls.
That is true. That is very true. You haven't made it anywhere unless you've had trolls. I gotta give you all props there. But man, I tell you, like I said, for those of you who are watching this on Joe's channel, we're also doing, this is the kickstart video for the Accelerate YouTube channel as well. So we're simulcasting this. When we're done, we'll both be uploading it to our respective pages and cross-linking it back and forth. So you may see it twice from a different perspective. That's why I've been making the showing off the cues to 2 different phones. But like I said, hey, this has been awesome. I can't thank anybody else. I can thank Joe. He's been an awesome friend and a hell of an ambassador for Team Accelerate. And a lot of great things are going to be coming soon. Hopefully the day comes where Oh yes, let's not forget the XLR8 aiming trainer by none other than the Mr. Exquisite, phenomenal Mr. Joe Strauss.
It's taken a little while longer than I expected, guys.
Well, R&D takes time.
And we got to make sure we, cross the T's and dot the I's. So I'm not stepping on anybody's toes, and you got to be careful. You could lose a lot of money, and I'm not here to make money. You know what I mean? I'm here to help. I want to see better pool being played, more quality pool being played, not just more pool, just quality pool.
That's why there's no mirrors in this shop.
And this one has something nothing else out there has. It's for an aiming system that everybody has trouble with, and they end up dropping it. I don't want to mention the name yet because I haven't spoken with them yet to make sure I can mention it, but it's going to help. It'll put a lot of people back on track with that system, I think. But that's it, guys. That's all I have. I love this. I have not small hands, but I have short fingers, and the 11/8 just fits perfect. If you use an open bridge, it probably doesn't affect you as much, but I like the closed bridge, and that's why I use the glove. I have, by trait, oily skin, and after maybe 3 games, I got to deep clean a wooden shaft. This I don't have to. Okay, this I just use the glove, and I'm fine.
And
all right.
One last thing he said about that: he uses a glove. I don't. I won't say about the whites, but the regular shafts, you're not going. It's a personal preference at that point if you want to use a glove. Also, keep your eyes out. Coming in the very near future is going to be the XLR8 pool gloves. I got my own line of gloves coming out. Yeah. And I'm also, after 9 months of research and trying, this is not the official rollout, but we're going to be offering our own line of pool cue tips. We're starting off with, I'm going to have a clear acrylic brake tip. And I'm also going to have, in the beginning, just a soft and medium in both black leather tip. This is actually one of them here on this one here. And I'm also going to have a tan leather undyed model as well in soft and medium. And then I'm working on a gray colored leather hard tip, mostly geared towards my friends who shoot 3-cushion billiards. And then it's still going to be compatible with my pool playing friends, but most of the guys I end up putting hard tips on for are my 3-cushion customers. So just to give you an idea of what's coming down the pike, keep your eyes out. It's like everything else I do. I'm trying to put the best product on the market out there, period, and also do it at the best price. So why spend $25, $30, $40, even $60 installed for a tip when you can get one that shoots every bit as good and does everything you want it to do for less? That's kind of the motto here. So keep your eyes open. The gloves and the tips are going to be coming. It looks to me like Joe wants to show one last thing about shooting.
The sound.
Oh, yes.
Even though it's thinner, it still sounds like a wood cue. I'm holding this thing extremely, extremely loose so that when it goes off, it should sound like a miscue, but it doesn't.
Yep.
That's what they say. When you play with a wooden cue and you use an extremely, extremely loose grip, it should sound like you've miscued.
Very good center ball shot.
Yeah, it don't get no better than that.
I just thought you didn't put no side spin on. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I want to thank everybody again for viewing. This has been 19 minutes and 25 seconds long. It's probably one of the worst ones, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. You know where to find us. Please, any comments, questions, you have anything, we welcome all positive and negative feedback, because both of which make us better.
Anything that's constructive.
So, yep. I'm going to hit the button, guys. Hey.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.